Jamaica's Prime Minister and other parliamentarians to get 200% raise. This is Undiluted News, Mikey Bones reporting. This is really bad, people, that the government could not even pay the government workers their monthly salary, much less give them a raise. Every day you see a different agency was on strike between 2022 and 2023. Teachers on strike, nurses on strike, doctors on strike, police on strike. Every government worker went on strike because the government wouldn't give them a raise, even 2%. But the government gave themselves a massive raise. Just listen to the following report. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark announced an increase in salaries for members of Parliament and other members of the executive. Speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday afternoon, Dr. Clark said cabinet ministers will receive salary increase at different ranges, almost twice what they were getting before. Cabinet ministers will receive compensation of 17.8 million per year as at April 1st, and it's retroactive to 2022. They'll get 20.2 million as of April 1st of this year and 22.8 million as of April of next year. The finance minister also will receive compensation of $19.2 million as at April 1st of 2022, 21.7 million as at April 2023, and 24 million next year. The Deputy Prime Minister will receive 20.1 million as at April 1st, 2022, and 22.7 million as at April 1st of this year, and 25 million for next year. For the Prime Minister, the compensation package will be 22.3 million as at April 1st of last year, 25.3 million this year, and 28.6 million as of April 1st of 2024. And it goes on and on for the rest of the Minister of State and Speaker of the House, and everybody get big raises. Every member of Parliament is receiving double the salary, while some government workers have not even received a $2,000 raise in 4 years. And here is another reason why the government is wicked, because up to now the police still have not received their compensation. The Jamaica Police Federation is threatening industrial action if the government fails to urgently address outstanding sums owed to rank and file members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Corporal Rohan James, chairman of the Federation, said his members are facing financial hardships. He said he cannot guarantee normality if the issues are not addressed. So the government can give themselves raise, but the people who actually work, put their lives on the line in danger every single day, can't even get what is due to them. Anyway, as part of its legislative efforts to combat crime and violence and to impose tougher sanctions for murder, the government has suggested that the minimum sentence for people convicted for capital murder be set at 50 years under the Criminal Justice Act of 2023. The Justice Minister said there's also a proposal for the mandatory minimum sentence for non-capital murders to be increased. And with respect to non-capital murders, life imprisonment is still an appropriate sentence, even though parole may be available after a minimum mandatory period of imprisonment. Referencing the changes in the new Firearms Act, which made the mandatory minimum sentence for some firearm offense 15 or 20 years, Chuck said it was necessary for the mandatory minimum sentence for other offenses to also be increased. Two cousins, including a minor who were on the run following the chopping death of a relative at Dudley Burke Lane in Yallasin, St. Thomas on the weekend, have now turned themselves in to the police. The deceased is 25-year-old Ricardo Grant, otherwise called Ricky, a tire repairman of the same address. The cousins, a 40-year-old man and a 16-year-old boy, reported to the Kingston Western Police on Tuesday. They were later handed over to the St. Thomas Police. According to reports, about 9:20 on Saturday night, Mr. Grant was accused of exposing himself to his 12-year-old female cousin. An argument developed between Grant and the child, the 16-year-old boy, and his older cousin reportedly then intervened. A machete was used to inflict wounds to Mr. Grant's head, shoulder, and lower back. The police were alerted, and Grant was assisted to hospital, where he later died. Meanwhile, the Clarendon police are probing intelligence that the suspect held on the weekend in connection with the stabbing death of a woman in Lioneltown was among hundreds of prisoners who escaped from a prison in Haiti in 2010. The suspect reportedly escaped from prison during the massive January 2010 earthquake that rocked Haiti, destroyed buildings, and killed more than 200,000 people. A senior investigator said that they are now reaching out to their counterparts in Haiti to confirm that report. The suspect was reportedly incarcerated on drug trafficking charges when the prison collapsed during the earthquake. He later returned to Jamaica by boat. The man was taken into custody on the weekend for the murder of 59-year-old Evan Reed in Lioneltown in Clarendon, and it's reported that the two had dispute over paint, and Miss Reed was stabbed several times and was later pronounced dead at hospital. The Independent Commission of Investigations INDECOM is probing the fatal shooting of a man during a reported confrontation with the police in St. Anne on Tuesday morning. The deceased is 27-year-old Shannon Campbell of Rickman Drive in Bamboo in the parish, and it's reported that a police team conducted a targeted operation at a house occupied by Campbell about 5:40 a.m. He was reportedly shot, and a semi-automatic pistol with 6 rounds of ammunition was reportedly seized from him. On to sports. Philadelphia fired their head coach on Tuesday after the team was embarrassed in the second half of a 112-88 Game 7 loss to the Celtic on Sunday in the second round of the 2023 NBA playoff. Rivers, who is 61 years old, reached the second round in each of his 3 seasons as the 76ers head coach, but he lost all 3 series. And this is crazy. He brought them 3 semifinals in 3 years, and they still fired him. He actually coached the Boston Celtics to an NBA title in 2008. So this is a very excellent coach. For them to fire him, it doesn't look good at all. And still on NBA, the Miami Heat came out blazing last night, trading basket for basket with a crowd favorite, the Boston Celtics, and then turned around and beat them 123 to 116 to take a 1-0 lead in the Eastern Conference Championship. Led by Jimmy Butler with 35 points, the Heat attacked and defended effectively, breaking down the unstoppable Jason Tatum, who still managed to score 30 points. Now the Heat has one advantage for Game 2, and this will now be played in Miami, giving them a home court advantage. And they will be looking for a 2-0 lead in this next game tomorrow. So it's going to be tomorrow, ding dong, Miami up 2-0. Tonight we will see LeBron James' LA Lakers try to even the score against the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets had scorched them in Game 1, 132 to 126. So we're hoping that the LA Lakers, along with Mr. James, can bring them level tonight. Anyway, if you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.